Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Slee with another message. So yesterday I was actually reading a biography about Haman. My sisters and I were studying the book of Esther together. And my Bible application study Bible actually has like snippets of biographies of all the different people within a specific book in the Bible, the good and the nasty. So Haman was a man who came from the Agatite tribe, who historically has always been part of a tribe that hated the Jews. So if you go back to the book of First Samuel, how Saul dealt with particular people in that specific tribe, he never actually fully followed God's direction in terms of getting rid of that tribe. He left some residue. So that followed through generations, and hence why we meet Haman in the book of Esther, who actually wants to get rid of the Jews. So it just taught me how one action by someone in your family can impact the later on generation who thought maybe if my great 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 dad could have dealt with this, we probably shouldn't be going through it as well. What actually was interesting in the biography was that before we start hating on Haman, look at yourself in terms of, do you have an ego? Do you want to rule people? Do you always want to be praised? Do you want people to stop when you all over the place? Haman showed this when he was mad that Mordecai wasn't bowing down to him, to the point because he was mad, he actually got the king to sign a decree to get rid of the Jews. That's how ego can rise to the point that you actually, not just one man, but an entire generation. So the Bible study actually helps you to actually navigate something similar in your own heart. We can hate on Haman, but have you ever felt like nobody is looking at you, nobody is praising you? You have this ego that is just beyond, that if people don't do this, then you are going to be mad, you are going to attack people, you are going to ridicule people because you are not getting what you want. This can actually happen to even someone who calls themselves a Christian. The Bible says that the heart is deceitful, right? I think it's in the book of Proverbs. The book of Proverbs shows us like shades like a mirror in terms of how we actually need to look at ourselves. We can read the Bible and look at characters like Haman and think, oh, what an evil man. But our hearts have a capacity to actually be just as evil as Haman, okay? Don't judge someone because you haven't actually done the work, gone through the journey. Ask God to really do some cleansing within your spirit and within your heart. It's not only that you are perfect. Sometimes the ego rises up, right? Even with Solomon, he was the king, the man with wisdom. Eventually, his kingdom fell down because he started thinking that he just knew more than God, and he started following other gods, and God actually left him. He said he left him just like he left Saul in First Samuel. So never think you are far from rising in your pridefulness, which was the reason why the devil fell down, to the point that you are just thinking that you are all that and a bag of chips. So I was just reflecting, I'm like, have I ever felt like this before? So the Bible study actually helps you question your own self. Look yourself in the mirror. Don't think you are Mr. or Miss Perfect all the time. Our hearts always need work every day. Sometimes people can disregard people, and sometimes people can be justified by their actions because they think they are better. Haman thought that he could do that, but Haman was from the Agitite, but it doesn't mean that it won't come through you as well as a child of God. Always check your heart, check your pride, check your ego, that it doesn't go unchecked. If you only have people who are around you who are just fangirling, fanboying you, and actually do not correct you, just like Mordecai did with Esther when he said in chapter 4, don't you ever think just because you're in a palace, something like this will not happen in the future. Don't you think maybe you were brought in that place for such a time as this? Don't you think that you were brought in that place for such a time as this? Think about the environments that you are in. Just because you have been given access and now you think you are too good to help other people and you don't want to carry on the work that the Lord has actually given you the first time around, Mordecai actually guides Esther and says, girl, just because you are sitting in the palace, married to the king, and you maybe don't want to do what you need to do, don't you think that someone else from the Jews will actually do what you do? And maybe think about it. You were brought into that place for such a time as this. So he almost convicted Esther, and Esther had to reflect and say, maybe my job was actually to free my people. It was just not to be the Queen Esther married to King Xerxes or something like that. And because of her conviction, she called on a fast and prayer. Go read the Bible, go read the chapter 4, 5, what happened when she was convicted. Imagine if she sat with that knowledge of, I'm not going to do this. I already have access to the king. I'm a queen. Let them fight their own battles. Don't you think wherever you are, if it's in your corporate spaces, business, family, just because you have access to what people need in your community, and then you feel like, they're going to see for themselves. Maybe do an inner work and maybe just think about it if you were not brought into that place for such a time as this. Anyway, guys, I wanted to share that because sometimes the Bible can be straightforward. You might read Esther and just think, oh, it was just about saving the Jews. Or it was just about that orphan and her cousin who actually were brought into prominence after Haman tried to kill them. But there's actually more to the Bible. It actually looks at teaching us what we need to do within our own lives and actually challenge us to actually look at the environments that we are in. Are we actually standing up for the right things, or are we just grateful or just happy with our blessed assurance that we got to get in there? Everybody else is going to figure it out for themselves. Anyway, guys, I hope this resonated with you. Have an awesome day. Bye. Stop recording.